Cancer seekers. Okay, I'm supposed to talk to you about the full moon in your sign. Yes, I know today, I'm supposed to talk about the New Year's. But you know what I really, really want to talk about? Or at least just mention? Cobra Kai drops January 1st on Netflix. They're not paying me to say it. They don't need to pay me to say it. I would be happy if they would. But I'm just saying, I was a karate kid. I grew up on it. And now there's Cobra Kai season 3. And I will binge watch it. Just want to say. Anyway, how does it relate to you? Well, other than the fact that it's fun. Cancer. Karate Kid, the original movie, was a part of a similar narrative that the movie industry had, which was based on humanity, really, and our perception, because that's what movies are all about. Good versus bad. There's a clear good guy, there's a clear bad guy, and then there's a conflict. Okay, but we know as the viewer who we're cheering for and who we do not. Daniel-san is the good kid, Johnny is the bad kid. Alright, and here comes Cobra Kai. Here comes a complete new type of narrative in the movie industry and in the television series industry. There is no longer black and white, good and bad. Characters are complex because people are complex. Because even though many of us do bad things, we don't perceive ourselves as bad people, and we have our reasons, legitimate, not legitimate. It always comes from a place of we genuinely believe we have to do this or we should do this, and so on. What am I trying to say here? Cancer, you used to have the same perception. There's the good guy, there's the bad guy. Often you were the good guy. And whoever you were dealing with was hurting you, taking advantage of you, not seeing you, taking from you. I would never say this to you a few years ago. But now you're sitting there, and even if you don't like me for saying it, you're like, yeah. Some of you are looking back at, situations that you've been in, exes, even not necessarily romance. And you think to yourself, maybe I could have dealt with it differently. Or you're seeing the other person's experience, point of view, and you're like, maybe they weren't that bad. Maybe we both had our share. Maybe we both somehow contributed, and perhaps in their mind, in their story, I'm the bad guy. We are all, without exception, cancer, not cancer, the bad guy in someone else's story. Because when someone doesn't reciprocate your emotions or your will, even if you're so certain that that's how things should be, how come they can't see it? While you do that, there's someone else in the world that feels the same about you. How come cancer can't see me or can't see how perfect this could be? And to you, they're just like, okay. For so long, you didn't connect the dots. I have, other than, beside the fact that I'm an actor and a writer and a creator, regardless, as someone who constantly researches the human condition, I'm obsessed with the human condition. That's what allows me and pushes me to do this. That's what actors and writers do and directors do. Storytellers bring forth the human condition. And I feel like movies and art, they're always a few steps ahead of us when it comes to expressing the next phase of our understanding, of our awareness. Now we're going into a world where the lines are blurry. where it's no longer the light versus the dark. We understand that empty matter holds matter, that space holds light. The darkness hugs light, creates it. We realize that evil is a perception and bad is a perception. Nonetheless, it exists, but if you go into each individual's world, mind, in their experience, they are never evil. And when we manage to put ourselves in someone else's experience, broaden our horizons enough to even explore, because if you think something is 100% wrong or bad, you won't even go there to experience or to learn about it, right? But if you change your perspective and think, okay, maybe that's not the worst, or at least I can first check, explore. That's how you get to learn. We used to be in a very strict mindset. This is good, this is bad. We don't go to the bad. Therefore, we can't really learn about the bad and discover that maybe it's not so bad. Now we're in a mindset that is way more aware. We're going into unity consciousness. The yin and the yang seek to integrate. How do you do that? By embracing one another. You can't really integrate the different aspects within yourself without first doing the active experience in the physical world with you versus another. As above, so below, as within, so without, and vice versa. To integrate the self, integrate with the other's mindset, with the other's perception. To do that, you have to break the boundaries that define this is wrong and I am right. It allows you to go there. And so now shows and movies and writers and actors and directors and creators are writing wiser characters. No, they write the same characters, but they are wiser. They understand the world better. Because we are starting to understand the world better. Seriously, biggest prophets are writers. How many movies have they made years ago about world plagues that just debilitates humanity? 12 Monkeys. Brad Pitt, Edward Norton. Brilliant. Terrifying. Point is, Cancer, you are liberating yourself right now, or have recently, or are about to, depends on where you stand, from the who am I in this story? Which character am I? Am I Cobra Kai? Am I Miyagi-Do? It's all one dojo. Special place of study. All of this is one big dojo. Special place of study. In case you don't understand why I'm saying this, dojo means literally a special place of study. And when you are no longer the hero or the victim, and you are not minimized to a character description, the sky cannot even be the limit. Happy full moon, Cancer. Seven of Cups, all the possibilities of yourself, different versions of you are coming up to the surface now. Say, hey, remember me? All the parts that you've suppressed or denied or just shunned or ignored because they weren't this and weren't that. All the situations you've dealt with were just a reflection of us. We just wanted you to acknowledge us. But now that you do, we don't have to manifest ourselves with exterior events and people. You get to choose. You can't choose when you ignore the options, right? You can't choose when you think all the options are bad. Five of Swords. Someone here doesn't know what they want because they don't know who they are. To know what you want, you gotta first know who you are. To know who you are, you gotta open up to you with no judgment and self-criticism. This is not how it should be. This is not how I should be. Says who? Some of you are feeling entangled in a situation or situations where you just don't see the best possibility to undertake or the way out. Well, the only way out is in. So what if this isn't about trying to find a way out of this, rather a way into this? Figure out why you have to be dealing with this right now. There's a reason. There's always a reason. How did you get to that situation in the first place? All right? Follow the breadcrumb trail. How did you enter? And so how will you exit? The people you're dealing with, involved with. How did you find yourself in that scenario in the first place? Oh, they just want to win at all costs at my expense. Where do you want to win at all costs at other people's expense? Stop. Cancer. I have great appreciation to you. But you've got to be able to take a breath and at least consider the possibility. Remember? We are all the bad guy in someone else's story. And this isn't necessarily like a karmic retribution to punish you. No, it's just to show you, because you ask. Show me myself. Show me my truth. Okay. Mirrors, 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 mirrors. Maybe it's not about you deceiving someone else. Maybe it's about you deceiving yourself in the past, probably, some of you now. Not wanting to cope or to deal for legitimate reasons, because it hurts, because it's scary, and so on. But then how did that affect people around you? Those of you who feel debilitated from making a decision or a choice, it's something that's also affecting your environment or partner or people around you somehow. Or again, vice versa. You can always reverse the roles. It could be something that you're experiencing from someone else. But I have a strong, keen feeling that you are now getting the other end of the stick, good or bad. You're experiencing everything that others have experienced with you. 10 of Pentacles. This is very good. The opportunity to have it all. connection, belonging, but somehow feeling in the outskirts. Standing outside the door before you knock. The family is in there, the friends are in there, the group of people is in there. There's bonding, there's unity, there's laughter, there's food. And you're invited, or you are a part, and yet, right before you knock on the door, you take a second, you take a breath. Do I belong here? Yes. You belong everywhere, Cancer, everywhere that is good and that makes you feel great. It's an opportunity for you in January, Happy New Year, my love, to yank that part of you out, that part that goes into the room, into the gathering event, and just stays glued to the wall, into the corner, and kind of goes around everyone. First observes, first watch. Next time, try to just enter the room and intermingle. I think it will do something for you. Show me more. Okay. The World and 8 of Cups. I'm using a combined deck, by the way, of my first 2 decks, Rider-Waite and the Mythic Tarot. I rarely use it. It's like a personal deck, but I felt guided to do that today with you. I feel like some of you are reaching a sense of really, really massive completion, a success of some sort, reward. Could be financial, could be work, could be family. You might be getting some closure when it comes to family matters. Something just kind of concludes itself properly. And this 8 of Cups feels very liberated. Actually, it feels like, okay, I'm free now. This is not haunting me anymore, or this doesn't scare me anymore. I did it. I managed to connect or heal or resolve some sort of generational matters. This could be something that some of you have been taking with you for years. Family stuff. This could be a cultural thing. This could be a heritage. This could be a sense of belonging to a place you grew up in. Something like that. That never quite sat right, and something about this month helps it sit right. And with this 8 of Cups, I feel like you have this, okay, I can move along to other things in my life. I can feel other things, work on other things, think about other things. It's no longer something that kind of, ticks in the bottom of my subconscious. It's resolved. Something here is resolved, Cancer. There's also something coming up about the place that you were a big part of, that you left. Maybe you have moved, maybe you traveled, maybe, could be many, many things. It's coming up for resolution, and it is resolved. So show me more, please. And we're going from 7 of Cups to 8 of Cups. That's good. Show me more for Cancer, please, for January. Too many cards. Too many cards. Cancer for January, please. Six of Wands. You are feeling victorious over something. Actually, it's something with your environment. Okay. Six of Wands and the Death card. Right underneath the World. Cancer, some of you are feeling in the month of January like you need to go out on something that requires you to, it's like you feel like you need to prove something. To prove a point, to prove a skill, to prove an ability. Like you feel like you need to show what you've got, what you know. And some of you are like taking a calculated risk. You're like, okay, I think I'm just going to do this. I'm going to try to show what I know. And if it works, if they approve, great. If not, not. But I did my best. Six of Wands here shows that there is a sense of success in that. It's almost like very refreshingly, it seems like people want you to win. Like they want you to succeed. Nine of Wands and the Emperor. Someone is holding on to something. This is interesting and very specific. I'm picking up someone is trying to defy death, like holding on to life. This could be as like, sci-fi as, actually researching ways of prolonging life, etc. This is very, very specific. Someone wants to make sure that they are remembered, that they leave behind a legacy. This doesn't have to be someone who's on their deathbed at all. This could be just someone who's carrying that sense of, I want to make sure that I'm remembered. I want to make sure that I leave something great behind me. I want to make sure that death doesn't catch me before I make my impact. Some of you really feel the need to bring something to the world that is timeless and eternal. Ace of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, and the Lovers. There's a lot of money on the table, a lot of dealing with money, a lot of and I mean big money. So some of you are dealing with people or are people that deal with a lot of money. Work, investment, profit. Maybe you handle someone else's funds, but and January comes with having to make a choice of some sort, a decision of direction. Some of you feel like you've created a big impact already, like you've made a big profit or made a name for yourself, and you're like, okay, what's next? What is my next big thing? What is my next legacy? What is... Where do I go from here? I've completed this cycle. Where do I go from here? Judgment. You'll know by the end of the month. Several signs had this combination of the Death card and the Judgment card. Now with the Lovers, I mean, 2021, the world, it's 2020 has placed us all, whether we liked it or not, on the path. Okay, some of us we were already somewhat on it, so it was easier. Some of us were completely off track, so the turn had to be very, very sharp, painful sometimes. Either way, this season, Capricorn season, marks the end of one race and the beginning of another, where you know where you're headed. If there's confusion now, if you don't know what's the direction, where to go, there is such strong clarity towards the end of the month. It is so specific, so accurate, so like you can see it. It's like all the clouds are just, open up, and the sky is very, very clear, and you know exactly the direction you need to take. Some of you have been resisting change for a while, and now you're just surrendering to it, seeing it as an opportunity instead of a problem. And you're being rewarded by your own spirit, who's excited by it, and just things start making sense. If there was money issues, then money comes in to allow it. If there were different things that created a dilemma, things just fall out, and like the options are no longer many options. There's just a very clear guided path for you. Your extended will focus on love. And we'll take a look into you and your person of interest. If there's no person of interest, then the future person that will be coming in. And we'll also do a room reading after the tarot reading. Links below. But we're not done. I want to do a couple more cards at least. Oh, and stay tuned. I'm going to do something special at the end. I'm going to give homework for my shaman seekers, my light workers, and shadow workers to help the collective, and then we'll also pull an oracle for you specifically, okay? The Tower. Okay. Those of you who are holding on to control and resist change by any means possible, the Tower will come in and just, you didn't hear it in the whisper, you'll hear it in the shout. It's inevitable. Those of you who have been cooperative with your own sense of self and your own sense of direction from your higher self, reality will start aligning and help you go through that change. I see you breaking something down completely. Some of you are breaking some sort of foundation in your life that has been around for a very long time. You're just breaking it all down. King of Wands that has been popping up everywhere. Yeah, you're taking a real vigilant approach, I like it, to your life. And you're doing something out of the ordinary, Cancer. Some of you are going to do something exceptional, exceptionally brave, or out of the box, or just different. But it comes from the inside, and it comes from power of genuine will. It's like some of you are like everything and anything that has ever held you back outside or inside of yourself is you're just kind of breaking down and moving away from. And I think February is going to be very exciting. January is going to be dramatic, very interesting. An actual movie. You're creating a complete new persona, Cancer. You are you're breaking through your own definitions of who you are and what you are, and I think you might. Some of you are going to shock some people around you. Some of you are going to drop some news or do something that will possibly create some shock with people around you. Like, they did not see it coming from you. Like, also, some of you will, it will be an exterior, something that doesn't have to do with you personally, like maybe the place where you live, the country, the city, the leadership. Something with the leadership of your area could, for some of you, could be the dramatic tower thing, like some really dramatic news coming out that affect people, not just you, but affect people in general, so that kind of puts you in a position where you have to do something different or change plans. You're tapping into some badass energy, Cancer. I think you'll find yourself in your most cardinal energy yet. Scared to ask. Excited to ask. I don't know if I'm scared or excited about this reading. It's very interesting. Anything else I need to tell my Cancerian seekers for January about this? It felt like it fell in the reverse. I just needed to see the card. 10 of Swords in the reverse. This King of Wands, I mean, of course it could be someone else, but I'm picking up on your energy, Cancer, that it's like you're going rogue. Some of you are going rogue, like in ways that people don't expect of you. It's almost like you're putting an end to some things in your life that you've had enough of. I don't think you're even waiting for karma or for energy or for anything. You're just, it's like you wake up in the morning with this strong decision of, I am done with this ABC, and then it's like a robot. You just go and you demolish everything that has to do with that, with those things. You are liberating yourself somehow from something. And you're not giving any answers or reasons, you don't care. This could literally be you dramatically quitting. You know, it's like, it could be very trivial things, okay? So I'm dramatic. But it will vary between different Cancerians. Either way, you're the one holding the reins on this, so it comes from your own decision making. It's based off exterior events, but you're initiating the activities that I'm seeing here. Okay. All right. I'll see what happens in the extended, especially if love is involved somehow. Oh, love is always involved somehow. Okay. These are just the major arcanas from my Big Rider-Waite lectures tarot deck, because I just want the deepest energetic shamanic advice for you guys for this specific thing. I want to see how my Cancerian seekers can help the collective at this point in time, with shamanic spiritual energy work. So, how can my Cancerian seekers help the collective with shadow work / light work for the month of January, please? How can my Cancerian seekers support the collective with their spiritual homework for the month of January? What is the energy of Cancer? Okay. Just don't want you to be confused. The Moon card. That's intense. Cancer, this is your ruler. You're ruled by the moon. This is the energy you, as a spirit, are guided to feel most comfortable in. So this work won't just help the collective. This will help you to tap into the moon energy. And the full moon is, I'm recording this on the full moon in Cancer on December 29th. So the moon is a very psychological card, and very intense. It has many different layers to it. The main thing I can say, because we're not taking the on the surface tarot interpretation for reading aspect of the cards, we're taking the underlying bunkai. Bunkai is a term in martial arts, by the way, that says hidden applications. Okay, so the hidden applications for the tarot cards. So the under layers, spiritual, energetic layers of the moon card. It's about using the confusion and using the realm of dreams to find clarity and to bring forth clarity. It's taking all your instincts and shadows, and rather being scared of it or trying to fix it or heal it somehow, work with it. It's transmutation. It's a very deep aspect of transmutation. It's, like peacocks, they take poison and turn it into nutrition. That's something the moon card can talk about. To my Tarot Masterclass students, you already have all classes. I will link the class to the moon card below. Just watch it and try to harness the energy that the moon card speaks of in ways of helping the collective. If you're not a Tarot Masterclass student of mine, you can either take what you see from the moon card and do your own work the way you see fit. But if you want to know what I teach about it and what there's else to know about the moon card in relation to this work, then you can rent the class separately, rent or purchase up to you the class separately for like $2. You don't have to want to study tarot or to be at the Dojo. You don't have to take the entire class. I build it like a library where you can just take specific classes. So the link below will be relevant to you as well, those of you who want to join this work. Great. Cool. I'm going to do the I Ching for you guys. It's like what wasn't even a question. It's like, oh, the I Ching. Message for my Cancerian seekers for the month of January from the I Ching, please. $58. All right, let's read. The joyous. Above lake, below lake. Lake after lake. Heartfelt joy. The beauty of a lake fills the heart with delight. A series of lakes expands the delight into joy. Even the greatest sorrows hold the promise of returning joy, just as joy always contains a drop of sorrow. Joyousness is spread to others through words and deeds as lakes spill over into each other. This is not giddy happiness, but rather the knowledge that beauty and love are the truth that survive within the human heart. I love this. Okay, I feel like I want to also pull animal spirit. It's the New Year's. Animal spirit message for the month of January for my Cancer seekers, please. Shark. This is you, Cancer. This is you becoming, again, hyper vigilant, hyper aware, active in something in your life. One more card for Cancer seekers. Lizard. Water and fire. You're following an inner guidance, Cancer, that you used to not follow, you used to ignore, or you used to not acknowledge within yourself. A gut instinct where you just know what you need to do or where you need to go. It doesn't necessarily make sense, possibly not even to your, possibly to your environment. They're going to be like, what? You're doing what? What? But you just know here and here, and I support you because I love you guys. I will see you in a second in the extended. It's available on Patreon and on Vimeo. If you're joining Patreon, wait until the first of the month or you will be charged twice, because Patreon always charges on the first of each month. So if you're watching this on the 29th, 30th, or 31st, unless you of course want to, then by all means, but just keep that in mind. You can just wait a couple of days and join in the beginning of the month. Either way, it gives you unlimited streaming of all the content this month and past months. Extended is tier 2 and up. But you can also still purchase the reading separately on Vimeo. If you're new to my channel, hey, subscribe, press the bell button, comment your thoughts, all of you, especially if you get the, if you watch the moon card class, let me know your thoughts. And if you know what this is about, please share. I would love to read you. You can now join the channel as a member. First of all, I just want to say thank you for all my patrons, my channel memberships, my Vimeo purchases, my Tarot Masterclass Bunkai students. Thank you for being an extensive part of the Existential Shift. Thank you for supporting my journey with reciprocation and just wanting to have more and to give more. That makes me really happy, and it helps support the channel and myself. You enable this, so thank you. Joining the Existential Shift membership doesn't grant you extra content. It's $1.99 per month to support the shift with modest reciprocity. If you want to receive extra content for monthly membership, then Patreon will be the platform. I don't know why I'm stalling. It's not very smart when it comes to the algorithm. It's just going to make you like click out and not finish the video. But Cancer, I just want to say this was a very powerful reading, and I'm very, very proud of you for taking such powerful ownership, not only of your life, but of yourself. Because this comes from inner realizations that are very strong. And that's brave and not to be taken for granted. So, good for you. Okay. I will see you wherever I see you. Love you.